and gentlemen, I'm Ohmster, and tonight we're going to be casting um, Trial by Annihilation versus really Aggro Ghoul Elites Rage. It's a Divi matchup here in our beloved NGS, and it'd be pretty exciting. So, I don't know if any of you happen to know, I played for Rage a couple years ago. Still know a couple of the players, so might be able to provide a little insight into the draft that way. On the other hand, I don't think I'm too familiar with the Trial by Annihilation players, so either way, this should be a lot of fun. So as we get ready for the lobby to get made, we do have picks and bans already set up here, so we can pop into that just so you guys have a sense of where we're going. Trial by Words are hard. Trial by Annihilation is the home team, so they get to choose first pick or first ban, and first map, first pick or first map, and they chose first pick. Excuse me. So that left really aggressive Ghoul Elites to pick the first map. Our map bans by Trial by Annihilation were Brax's Holdout and Battlefield of Eternity. Seems like they prefer the larger, more macro maps as opposed to the smaller two-lane, more teamfight maps or quick rotation maps. So that's what they've banned out. On the other side, I'm going to need to double check to remind myself. On the other side, we have Cursed Hollow and Volskaya Foundry as our bans. So, Volskaya being a large point map. A fair number of teams actually banning Volskaya as far as I've casted so far this season. And Cursed Hollow being more of a point map with a big boss involved. So I pause at times where it seems odd that I'm pausing. I have a little tickle in my throat, so I may mute to cough. Sorry, not pause. I mute to cough if necessary. But hope you're all ready for it. I will have chat open on my phone, so feel free to tell me. Things are good, things are bad, things are crazy, things are potato. Salty Pineapple. Trial by Annihilation used to be Unleashing the Kraken. I remember vaguely Unleashing the Kraken. Okay, thanks for that note. And let's go Trial by Annihilation. It's Bloody Drapes, by the way. Welcome, Bloody Drapes. I don't know if you're on one of these teams or just enjoying cheering, but welcome, welcome. And thank you for the follow. I don't have notifications and stuff set up yet. I'll work with some of the other casters to learn. It's been about 4 years since I streamed, so I need some refreshers. So we're just waiting for the last members of the teams to trickle in here. We are still 2 minutes early. And so I wonder if one of the things we'll see banned is the Ariel. It's been just hot fire in the Storm League, at least down in my level in the Silver Mines. And very, very powerful. Although she still has the weaknesses she had before. Only one peel spell in her E, and of course no cleanse. Yeah, I haven't gotten commands in yet, Peldor Hots, but I'll get there. TBA, we got some TBA fans in the house. Good for them. You're the founder of Oof Unleashing the Kraken. You're a sub for them. Oh, okay, nice. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone. Tomb of the Spider Queen is going to be our first map. Lots of fast rotations. You normally want an offlaner here with decent clear. They don't need to be good at double clearing, like duo laning, but they do need to be able to escape a fast gank because the rotations here are very quick. And you want to make sure you've got someone who's decent at camp clear because that bruiser in the mid lane can have a lot of meaning, especially since it can beat the absolute tar out of a web weaver. Hello, Swiftfair and Saddlebird, welcome, welcome. And of course, only only the one boss in Tomb of the Spider Queen, so the neutral one is able to be contested. If you weren't here earlier, again, it should be on screen. Our bans were BOE and Braxis for TBA, and Cursed Hollow and Volskaya for really aggro or rage. So we're not going to see any tight two-lane maps. It's going to be all about the macro. Which team can take control of their lanes better. Although, again, Tomb of the Spider Queen almost feels like a two-lane map with how close together the lanes are. It's Homester on the mic, and it's Hoku in the chat. We've got all the superstars. So there's the other sub. Patch out supporting friends. Nice. Welcome, welcome. I think that's one of the most awesome things about the Haunts community is most of the people who are still in NGS. I mean, we can all get a little salty in games, and we can get a little salty with each other at times. But you know what? We tend to have a lot of great support. I've been amazed at how frequently people pop in to, I shouldn't say surprised, I've been impressed at how people pop into the streams. They want to see these guys play, and it's not about, you know, oh, I'm only going to watch the Div A and the Heroic games. It's just about everyone having fun. So it looks like we have all our players. Hopefully soon. We're just getting the R's from everybody, and hopefully soon we can pop into our draft, and we can talk about why they drafted who, and why they are wrong to not pick Artanis. Which I know, that's why everyone comes to the draft. And we are counting down, so we should be popping into our draft phase momentarily. Welcome to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Puzzled by BOE, but love that Rage is good since Kill Cursed Hollow. Least favorite map. I actually quite enjoy Cursed Hollow, but I like those windy little maps with lots of teamfight possibility. I'm a brawler at heart. Blackheart's Bay over those two maps? Oh, wow. Now that's some commitment, Swiftfear. That is some commitment. So, by picking first pick, Trial by Annihilation is going to also get first ban. So we'll see if they've done some scouting and have picked up on things they don't want to see, or if they're going to go this early in the season with just going, we don't want to see Ariel, we don't want to see Dahaka, we don't want to see Johanna, those standard bans that are just really strong in most comps. Go Rage from Corrosive X. And then Anubrak is banned. If I recall, Honey Badger being the tank for Rage has some tanks he's very strong on, and so that would seem like it's a targeted ban. And now Rage is going to choose what they would not like to see. They're going to tell someone, stay home, you don't belong in this game. And that character is going to be Stukov. Don't know if there's a great Stukov player on the other team, but Stukov always a great ban. Those puddles, very frustrating, especially in the tight rotate points of Tomb of the Spider Queen. Stukov can be an annoying early game hero, just kind of dismounting you, getting off your horse, and letting his team get to the minions first to get wave priority. You'd play anything before Volskaya? I like brawly maps. I think you guys are just more high class than me. When I play brawly maps, I get to play Artanis, and when you have maps where you fight over a point, you get to use Artanis to make your auto attacks go ding, and everyone likes dings. Junkrat also banned, an excellent ban. He's so good at controlling tight points, and the Li Ming ban. That feels more targeted, so they must have looked over their opponent's favorite picks and gone, you know, this mage chucking orbs on a small map is not what we'd like to see. Johanna is the first pick. Still highly contested, although not quite as much since she had a couple of talents downgraded. The instant Garrosh Anduin pick by Honey Badger and Lagwagon on Rage, deciding right away that they want two of the best heroes in slot. Stukov's up there with Joe Vala and Brightwing. No one wants to see those heroes? Yeah. Very, very strong. taking a little bit longer for picks 2 and 3. These will be the last picks before the next ban phase, so TBA is taking their time and deciding what would be wise. The Rhaegar, always a strong healer in almost any comp, and the Kael'thas. So still some flamin' hot circles to make rotations difficult, to make wave clear easy. It's now Rage's ban. I try to ban Stukov and Junkrat in all of my Storm League games when I get to ban, which, granted, is rare. They're just so good at controlling things. The Jaina ban. So there's a mage player on this team, and even with Kael'thas picked, there's a mage player on this enemy team that Rage just does not want to see them on a comfortable hero. So both Li Ming and Jaina gone. Tiwi did great last match. I hope we see great things from both teams. I mean, as a caster and as a fan, I always hope for a 3-game series. But yeah, just hoping to see some really fun hots. The very last ban is Kel'Thuzad. Interesting. Not something we usually see banned. But obviously, someone on Rage plays it in such a way that they felt it was necessary. Interesting. I don't recall a great Kel'Thuzad player on that team. So I wonder if it's something Rexiod plays, or if it's something Urban or K4 has picked up since I played with them. Granted, that was a couple years ago. People improve all the time. They get their next 2 picks. They pick the Vala and the Gul'dan. 2 excellent picks. Good at wave clear. Vala's just kind of good everywhere. And Gul'dan, if the positioning is good, just outputs very, very consistent damage. Also great at clearing the web weavers if necessary. And also, he can be decent at pushing if you win, you know, a 2 or 3v0 team fight. Taking structures with these 2 characters will also be fairly easy. So we're going to see the last 2 picks for TBA. TBA, oh my word. Blaze, still one of the best offlaners out there, can answer most things, and Sylve, another character excellent at picking. So with the Kel'Thas and the Sylvanas, they'll also have good wave clear. Blaze is excellent at rotations on these small maps with the stun out of nowhere. So overall, a very solid team comp by TBA. We have a sense of where they want to go. Both teams here kind of going for a very well-rounded comp. Not really comps that are, we're going to do this or we're going to do that, but just very able. And Leoric, again, very great. I would say it's mostly a skill matchup, but I think it's a little easier on Leo versus Blaze. I mean, if you're good at walking out of the oil and just autoing, it can be easy. But these are our teams. Oh, hope you feel better soon, Shadow Wizard Kai. These are our teams. We're about to break into Game 1, Trial by Annihilation versus really aggro Ghoul Elites. Great Blaze map, excellent Blaze map. 100% agree. This was Rage's map pick, so we will see if they benefit from that pick. Oh, I've got to say, TBA with that portrait synergy. Rage all picking something different. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Think we already know who's got better teamwork here. Plays better in the matchup he has range. Yes and no. I play a lot of Leo, and for me at least, I find Blaze is not so one of the people I worry about in lane. Things like Blaze into Hawkeye I find can be fairly easily answered, but just my opinion. All right, in the blue, representing Trial by Annihilation, we have Kawhi Bane playing Rhaegar, Keladorn playing Johanna, Sparhawk on Blaze, Jay Trinja playing Sylvanas, and Flippy8 on the Kael'Thas. And on our red team, really aggro Ghoul Elites, who I will henceforth refer to as Rage, because the other one's a mouthful. K4K on Gul'dan, Urban Punk on Leoric, Lagwagon playing Anduin, Rexy Odd on Vala, and Garrosh played by Honey Badger. So we have our ordinary start, a little bit of a brawl. Oh, we got some sprays coming out. Is that friendship or BM? Your job. Kel's Joe is crazy. Really looking forward to it. I remember Honey Badger being a very decisive tank, so... Oh! Leoric walking up. Honey Badger walking up also. Keller now they're going to walk in, but a lot of AoE from that Gul'dan. Garrosh takes a lot of damage, and Lagwagon just does the early pull, making sure everyone stays alive. Our offlaners will go down. both focusing more on the minion wave than on each other. It looks like Sparhawk has already used his passive there. And we've already got a kill in the mid lane. Kael'thas goes down, although there is a Flame Bomb on Rexiod. He's going to take some damage there. And it looks like Blaze has been pushed back by the Leo here. Must have landed some good Ws. Let's have a look at talents while they battle it out. K4K, second killer. He's taking a lot of damage on it. He pops the Unstoppable, but he still goes down. Oh. With Kael'thas out, not quite as much damage pressure. That made it hard. He's walking in with no tank, and he flips on the Kael'thas. He has no escape, and he goes down immediately, although he does get out the bombs, and it does spread. These teams just brawling, making it hard to even call out what's going on. With their talents at level 1. Bunny joining you soon. Your silliness. Blue ripping through the area. It's ripping through everywhere, man. And while they're doing this, Rage grabbing the bottom camp. A lot of hockey teams that I've been following, just Illness ripping through their dressing rooms. It just seems like it's all over the place. But at level 1, we have Totem build from Rhaegar, Flashlight build from Johanna. Of course, a stim pack, the percent damage, overwhelming affliction, and mana addict. No convection, Kael'thas. There's a rotation to the bot, and it looks like they've pushed. Well, and they take that out. No one dies, but again, a big experience lead though for the red team, and they're just pushing this top wave in. Garrosh keeping an eye on the rotation and make sure his DPS and healer stay safe here. And we've got a pretty even wave prio. Urban Punk trying to turn in as Leo. Sparhawk annoying him, but it looks like he's going to let him turn in this time. The Unstoppable, he's trying to hunt someone down. He's not able to, and takes a lot of damage for that attempt. Oh, the fire almost takes Honey Badger out, but he manages to survive at 195 hit points, while this time the mid wave is pushing in. We've got the Fell Flame build for Gul'dan, Ossian Renewal, Even Hand Blessing, Auto Attack build. That's pretty brave for Vala, believing in his team that he's not going to die. Oh, Joe with that W providing such excellent help with the wave clear. You can honestly kind of pick characters that don't have as good a wave clear with a Johanna, because she's able to group them up and makes life a lot easier. K4K getting pretty low in the Gul'dan. He's going to have to be careful with his positioning, but he managed to slurp life out of a minion as they go around collecting spiders' butts, because that's a normal thing you do when you're a hero or a villain from a video game. Just collect spider butts, and then use those spider butts to pay their moms, who will then do damage for you. Just ordinary video game things. Rage turning in on the top. Both teams at this moment fairly even, and K4K gets the final turn in, but again, picking up this bruiser camp means that there's not going to be nearly as much push in the mid lane for Rage. Putting pressure on that Joe and Kael'thas, but this bruiser camp is going down fast. And down come the Wyvers. Leo backing, so Blaze being able to push out this bot lane for free. And the camp is going to push out the mid lane, so they're able to just guard at the top. Really well played by TBA as they... Oh, the flip on Johanna! But with the Unstoppable, she walks out, takes next to no damage. And that's going to kind of... Until that combo comes back up, Garrosh is now just a melee minion. So by taking that camp in the mid lane, TBA has put themselves in a position... Ooh, Caledron gets caught again. This time he's rooted. He takes a lot of damage, and the Fell Flame finishes Johanna off. Unfortunately, the cooldown on Honey Badger's combo a little shorter than the cooldown on Johanna's D. Able to pick her out when she stacks up. But the point I've tried to make a couple times, that camp just totally finished this off and let them defend top, which means they've only lost about 10% on this fort. They did lose the gate, and they're losing the gate here, but it could have been a lot worse. That camp timing was absolutely perfect. Although without a tank, Honey Badger's going in very aggressively. The totem comes down, though, and he takes a lot of damage and a bomb. He has to leave. Lagwagging being very quick on those pulls, making sure that you know, one of the sometimes issues we see with Anduin is the late pull, which can really cause issues. But lag's been pretty early, so now TBA is going to try to be the ones to turn in and get their own push. Urban Punk looking to distract. And that pushes Sparhawk and the rest of TVA back. But the re-engage by Sparhawk, he gets flipped in, but Honey Badger's very low. This is going to be a 5v5 team by Honey Badger taking so much damage. Sylvanas ease in, kills off the Garrosh, but now Sparhawk is really, really, really low. He survives and he walks out, and it looks like Rage is going to have to back out. A great team fight. And excellent positioning from Trial by Annihilation. The bomb is on Urban, and now he's getting caught out. The big stun. He's taking a lot of damage, and his E is already down. Is he going to die? He goes down also! I didn't see how many gems he had, but he went down fast. Collecting the butts of mechanical exploded from the big ones, so they come if you return their stuff. That makes more sense. Thanks for clearing it up, Swiffer. And they don't have a camp to counter-push this, so now Rage is going to have to try and control the entire map. Now, Urban Punk is back quickly on Leo, and will defend that lane. And with top lane pushing in, that will give them a little bit of a buffer as the spiders come, although Kael'thas will be able to clean that up fairly easily. Spiders just investing in anti-theft technology by hiring heroes. Please return our spider butts. I guess I never realized that before. Those little guys are quite mechanical. The Gul'dan and the Vala doing a really good job clearing this out, though. 10s are in for both teams. Looks like we have fairly standard picks. We do not have Taunt, but we have Decimate on the Garrosh. Light Bomb, Rain of Vengeance, Horrify, and Entomb. And those Kael'thas bombs are starting to get really uncomfortable for this red team. And the gate is down. Spider's at about half life. Webweaver, I should say. We've got Ancestral, Blessed, Bunker, Wailing, and Pyroblast. So less of a zoning ult, more of a finishing ult. K4K takes so much damage. That's a good Horrify, but he's down so fast. Badger trying to keep people there, but a good Ancestral. Unfortunately, Sylvanas still goes down. A lot of damage coming out now from the Vala W. Blue team does get that middle fort, but they leave with their health bars in tatters. Urban Punk seems like he was pushing away possibly Blaze, because he backed, but it did cost him 25% of the health on this bottom fort as well. So both teams back up to take a breath. There is a slight lead now in buildings for Trial by Annihilation, but the experience lead is slightly on the side of Rage. Spider's famous just walk away. I know, it's almost as good as listening lazily to the left, is it not? Spider Cream saying something about it. Yeah, good. Oh, Urban is in too deep, and he takes a lot of damage, but he's going to see if they can return the kill on this 20 hit point Kael'thas. The flip out by Honey Badger on Urban, he's going to take a lot of damage, and Lagwagon had been using Desperate Prayer, so he takes that damage as well. And this camp gets taken by Trial by Annihilation, as they're making some very clean rotates right now. Sparhawk does get thrown in. Not a lot of folks. You see, he dodges the Rain of Vengeance with that E ability, which I'm totally forgetting the name of. Bunker does go down to keep him alive, and once again, Sparhawk's patented just walk out has kept him alive. The Garrosh comes back in, uses the Unstoppable, but he takes a lot of damage in return, takes the Kael'thas bomb, and once again, he's going to get nothing for that. Both teams going to be soaking up experience, looking to hit 13. Trial by Annihilation has instantly rotated their camp, and just a little bit behind is Rage Gaming. 43 stacks on the Vala auto. I would expect by this point in the game she would have hoped to be a little higher than that. But certainly not terrible, and she hasn't died yet, so she's got all of her Gambit stacks remaining. Gul'dan putting out a lot of damage in this game. Vala not really able to pump out the damage with the ranges we've been seeing. Kael'thas, of course, with those bombs spreading tons of damage. Neither team having enough for a full turn-in, so Sparhawk just turning in his 2, seeing as he's been targeted a few times, and he knows walking away won't work forever. Rage clears the mid-camp and tries to protect theirs, which gives spell armor when you're in the aura. Honey Badger throws Sparhawk again, and this time the Entomb, and the Fear drops as well. Honey Badger taking so much % damage, and the Wailing Arrow hits 4! But there wasn't enough opportunity for follow-up, and nobody goes down on the side of Rage. But that camp is cleared quickly, even with Blaze down. Red team now does have enough to turn in. Kawaii Bunny gets flipped. The root misses, but so much damage. The Ancestral comes out. Perfect timing as Kawaii Bunny saves themselves from that flip and burst of damage. Hello, Jimmy. Well, Ronnie. Urban pushing hard as the red web weavers descend. They're trying to get priority in all 3 lanes so the web weavers do not lose health pushing through minion waves. Honey Badger using Decimate to try and gain the speed advantage, but is not able to catch up to Quiet Bunny. Pops the Unstoppable to get out, but he's still got to live through that bomb. And the Kelthus using damage as a crowd control is just really good HOTS playing. So the red web weavers have descended. They're coming in on this mid fort, and it looks like the red team really wants to push this. Now, the top fort will go down if no one goes to defend. Honey Badger flips in Sylvanas, who takes so much damage, she goes down. The fear comes out, but Sylvanas is still alive, and the damage is not able to get on her. Rhaegar takes her up from almost no health, and they cleanly defend the mid fort and even take the kill on the Garrosh. Urban Punk coming bottom, but Sparhawk has completely cleared out. That W looked like it went right through Sparhawk. I must have seen that incorrectly. Sparhawk just, once again, walking away. Top fort does go down, making these teams now equal in structures. Sparhawk might be the best walker I've ever seen. Now, Rage is looking to take this bottom fort, but they've pinged the retreat, and they're going to get out before they are rotated on by Trial by Annihilation. Garrosh going top immediately. It seems like the team has decided to do something, but in so doing, they've given up rights to this bottom camp. And so TBA will take this siege camp, the neutral siege camp at the bottom. First game, she had a couple late Ancestrals and it rankled, so she's been working her butt off. Well, I mean, her Ancestrals have been on point. She's a lot to be proud of, with 2 great Ancestrals in this game, at least, that I've seen. Urban Punk turning in his 18 doesn't want to get caught out, but TBA has enough for turn-in, and they're not going to be stopped. They get their web weavers. Now, again, the top one isn't going to get very far, but it looks like they're preparing for a team fight. The Entomb comes out. Flippy's caught inside. The Wailing Arrow silences Garrosh, but it looks like the blue team is really caught in this position. A 3-man fear that pushes Quiet Bunny right in the middle of the team, and she's not able to cast Ancestral in time. While this is happening, Blaze is taking the bot fort, but Johanna goes down as well. So the blue web weavers are coming down, and the bot fort may go down to the siege, as it looks like the team is going to focus more on killing Sparhawk than they are on saving their building. But unfortunately for TBA, they're not going to be able... Yep, this time walking away was not enough. TBA is not going to be able to push with their web weavers, or at least not get very much value out of them, as they lost 3. And unfortunately, the Blaze death was quite late, leaving a bit of a stagger. So again, it seems like the blue team will step back, take a breath. Both teams at 16 now. Mithril Mace and Spectral Leech very strong for Leoric. Pretty much full Q build here. The second pull for Anduin now exists. And the Manticore for Vala being a big level up power spike. Now blue team looking like they want to try and catch a bad rotate here. But they see that most of the team is top, and they just drop back to their own hard camp. Hammers for Joe, and of course the healing from Holy Renewal is going to give her more survivability. Jet Propulsion is that. Will of Forsaken, an Unstoppable for Sylvanas, will make her a little safer from Garrosh now. Are they rotating the boss? Blaze was here checking it. No, they don't want to start it. They just want to make sure that Rage wasn't starting it. So once again, both teams just looking to clear the other's camp. And TBA being very patient, waiting to see if someone steps out of position, but they don't see what they like, and they back out. Another Entomb. That was a weird interaction with the Unstoppable and the Light Bomb, but it looks like, yes, Kelthus goes down, and even with the Unstoppable, Sylvanas goes down also. These team fights are really going the way of Rage. Sparhawk gets the Ancestral. He's still alive. He's trying his walkout plan, but unfortunately this time it comes up short. A big stun to Johanna. She's getting rooted, and it's a 4-for-0 team fight, and the camp is still pushing mid. Rage is going to go for boss, and Quiet Bunny wants to make sure she's safe before she tries possibly pushing back on this camp. A huge, huge team fight there. And it seems like the later this game goes, the AoE damage that Gul'dan and Vala can pump out is punishing the tightness of the chokes that these Entombs are catching. And it seems like Urban Punk is just really targeting Flippy 8's Kael'thas with his Entombs. It's 3 straight team fights started with an Entomb on Kael'thas, and he's one of the characters that has no escape from this. Gul'dan going bottom to push out that wave as the mid camp takes that. The gate goes down to the boss. The Entomb drops, so it hits no one. And it is a 5v4 plus boss. So the priority here is going to be clearing out the boss and making sure nobody gets caught on either side, really. Urban Punk looking to provide some pressure, gets stunned, but gets missed by the jet propulsion of Blaze. And now Rage will back off. Blue manages not to lose their keep, although it did take out 75% of its health. Red team does have enough for a turn-in, and so they're going to be looking to get some Web Weavers to possibly finish off the top keep. And TBA is going to be looking to soak, but here come the Web Weavers, and again, the waves are fairly pushed, meaning most of these Web Weavers are going to show up in a decent position. Again, if Rage pushes mid, the bot keep is going to go down to Web Weaver. Honey Badger trying to force a throw, but oh, an absolutely excellent stun, followed up by the Flamewell strike by Kael'thas, and Urban Punk goes down immediately. Out comes another excellent Ancestral, and Celadorn is still alive. K4K having to back off, Honey Badger also having to run away, and another team getting a little too aggressive before the Web Weavers come, losing some characters. Last time it was TBA. This time, even though they had 20s, Rage forced to back off. Missed the stun, and then the excellent combo was the totem into stun into Flamewell strike. That's what it's called. Flame strike, sorry. We'll pretend I know that team fight was brutal. Man, all these fights have been just awesome to watch, honestly. Both teams just looking to find a mistake in the other team or force a mistake from the other team. Very exciting game. So we see Gul'dan has left his Demonic Circle at 20. So we've got Demonic Circle, Buried Alive, of course. Censure, normal, Firefly Quiver, normal, and Deadly Calm. So that damage reduction, which can be a huge difference maker in a team fight. But again, he has to make sure he's catching them close up. If they do what they did last time and keep him at arm's length with the totem and the Buried Alive goes down on Blaze. Urban Punk trying to do damage, but the Entomb is going to go down. Oh, he goes through a body block Sparhawk, and now Sparhawk gets flipped. He gets caught out, and he's going to go down. Sparhawk is dead, and all of his gems go with him. TBA attempting to come in to help, but they just weren't able to get there as quickly as Rage rotated into that fight. The flashlight into this camp, and the flame strike going twice, as 20s now show up for TBA as well, with the double Ancestral, blinded by the light shield, Master of Flames, the infinite spread. Oh, the flip on Celadorn, but he doesn't go down, but here comes the stun, and the root takes a lot of damage, and Celadorn goes down as well. The silence comes out, and Leo is still silenced, but Honey Badger, I think the root got unstoppable, but the stun didn't from the Rain of Vengeance from Vala. And it's starting to get difficult for TBA to find the fights they're looking for. When they're pushed up into tight areas, like right around a gate or right around a turn-in point, but when it's a little more open fight in a lane, they seem to be having the advantage. Now, with this map pressure, Rage is going to take the bottom siege camp, and they're going to take their bruiser camp, and there's no bruiser camp to take for another 3 minutes for TBA, as that was taken away. Urban Punk, once again, throwing the silence down, but he has 2 team members a lot farther away, and this could be a mistake. We'll see. Sparhawk taking a lot of damage. He throws down the bunker. Kawaii Bunny gets caught. A fear goes down, but it doesn't catch anyone because of the bunker. Kawaii Bunny, and says with herself, and Garrosh dies. Urban Punk has to back off. And now the bombs are spreading to each other with Kael'thas' 20, and again, just a choice that was very risky by Urban Punk to drop that Buried Alive when his team was so far away. They're trying to turn in to get their gems out, and TBA is not able to stop that, but it's not enough for a turn-in. Sparhawk does take a lot of damage. He's taking a ton of damage, but he gets healed. The Blessed Shield comes out and misses, but TBA manages to push Rage off of it, so they don't have enough for a full turn-in either. They clear up that siege camp mid, and the bot camp has already been cleared. 16 more seconds on Garrosh. A huge wave is forming top, and it looks like Sparhawk is going to go to answer that. And in fact, the whole team will move together, making sure he doesn't get caught in another surprise Buried Alive. Red team also traveling as a group. They're going to scout. They see that TBA is not on the boss. A boss throw by TBA would cost them the game with no keep in the top lane. Whereas a boss loss for the red team, not as big a deal with both their keep and their fort there. The silence a lot. Oh, it comes down, but it doesn't hit anyone. And now this fight is not started on Rage's terms. The unstoppable there, nothing is hitting for Rage. And now Blue still has a lot of their skills up. But both teams playing this very cautiously now. Neither team wanting to give up the kill that... Oh! The E in and the light bomb. The stun, but he managed it. The silence comes out and silences too, but Farhawk cannot get away fast enough. The silence still down on Leoric. Joanna manages the unstoppable, so she's not taken down, but there's a bomb and the percent damage on Honey Badger. She's taking a lot of damage. Caledorn gets the Farseer's Blessing. It's going to go again, but not fast enough. He dies. Big burst of damage on Honey Badger, but he's still alive, and Flippy is taking so much damage from these Vala autos. 163 stacks. That's a 3-for-0 team fight, and unfortunately, for TBA, it looks like Rage is going to try to end this game right now at 22 minutes. The silence entomb comes out, catches both Bunny and Jatrin, and Bunny goes down. Jatrin's still here using her unstoppable, using her abilities, but it's just not enough. She can't kill the 5-man of Rage, and it looks like game 1 here on Tomb of the Spider Queen is going to go to really aggro Ghoul Elites. GG. So as we pop into our game summary here. So we see here in our game summary that, let me double check that's what OBS is on because it has been a beggar recently. No, it's good. We see 19-6, so that it was very even in kills for a while, and then those team fights just started to flip on these entombs by Urban. Again, he made that one mistake in Tomb that got Garrosh killed, but for the most part, he hit some fairly clean ones. Did miss the one at the end, but didn't matter. The team just sort of waited, took their time, and picked a good fight. Kalthus with the highest damage in game. And honestly, I think there was a lot of good play by both teams. Excellent Ancestrals by Kawaii Bunny. Lagwagon with some just absolutely clutch pulls. But overall, the last couple team fights went the way of Rage. And GG to them. So game 1. So really Aggro Ghoul Elites. And I believe that means that our other team now has choice of pick or ban now. The losing team, TBA, will now be able to choose. Pick or ban. So as soon as I know more, you'll know more. Just some really fun team fights in that game. The early Garrosh picks were strong, and Honey Badger not at all afraid to just walk up to a gate and see if somebody is poking their nose out. And a couple of times, I think Caledorn would be the first to say there's a couple of Blessed Shields in that game that he would have liked to have back. I saw some strong positional play from Johanna, but maybe a little bit of nerves in the shields going a little... just a little off, just a little miss. So he was just getting his sight finder out, and I'm sure next game, if he gets Johanna again, he'll be connecting. Overall, some good macro sense from both games. Both offlaners sometimes a little out further than they needed to be, but really it wasn't a huge detriment. And Sparhawk showed off his patented "this is how I walk away" move, which I hope I learn that someday. So I wonder if there's anything we'll see banned from either team next time. Again, starting fights with that Entomb, especially the Buried Alive Entomb, might be something that TBA doesn't want to see. On the side, I think that Kalthus output a lot of damage and was just really... every time it seemed like Honey Badger wanted to walk in with that Garrosh, Flippy's Kalthus would put a bomb on him and then another bomb on him, and he would just have to back off again. So, you know, I think possibly he's the mage player they were trying to avoid the Ming and the Jaina on. Just some really strong Kael'thas play from Flippy 8. So, looking forward to game 2. Again, from the caster's perspective, you hope it goes TBA's way, so we see 3 games. But these teams will show us who deserves to win this match, whether it's over in 2, whether it's a 3-game beauty, or whether we're gearing up for a reverse sweep. These are all possibilities. If you're enjoying the stream, the VODs will remain on Twitch for 7 days. There is also an opportunity to review them again on YouTube channel, Ohmster. I would like to be Ohmster on Twitch as well, but Ohmster was taken, so I'm Ohmsterific. We'll have a quick look at the talents here as well. I'll switch back to the game summary. Oh, looks like we got a pretty standard Rhaegar build. The auto build. And again, some big spikes. The Buried Alive and the Manticore Farflight Quiver, I think, really pushed the endgame team fights more in Rage's direction if I had to choose again. It looks like our next game is going to be on Towers of Doom. Let's get that going. Towers of Doom, a map that really prioritizes rotations, controlling macro, being on top of your cant timings. So I think this will be a lot of fun, as once again we see a map that's not the largest, with a lot of rotational strength, where we see a lot of globals having a huge impact here. So this is going to be a lot of fun as well. And this is a map where you can always go from down 36-3. If you turn it around properly, you can win. You can win. With only 3 hit points left on the core, there's no way for them to rush it. There's no way for them to attack your core specifically. So this game could go either way at any time, and I think that's one of the most exciting things about Tower of Doom. Is I've once heard it described as a map you pick when you think we're going to win this. My team is just better than their team. So yeah, it should be really fun to see. Both teams in the mid game had really crisp rotations. They started to get a little more sloppy as the forts dropped, and the teams were trying a little harder to get their pickouts and trying to get their soak. So, but that's not necessarily unusual in Div E. Really good players, sometimes still gelling as a team, especially in Week 3. You know, the teams, not all of them have played together for a long period of time, and so sometimes you're still seeing the shot calling and the macro still coming into shape as the season goes. Sparta, even if it was just walk away technique, he's incredible. He will forever be famous now as the initiator of just walk away. So we're just waiting on a few people to return from the in-game break. You know, it's always good to grab a drink, hydrate, take care of yourself, and we'll be hopping into Towers of Doom once everyone returns and is ready. So it does seem like players on both teams have fairly broad hero pools in some of the bans we were seeing. And I think that's always really exciting. And I think that's one of the reasons Div E is excellent to watch as well. Again, I think sometimes we think like the really high leagues where everything is just a little, the decision making in the micro is maybe a little bit more on point, and we think, oh, that's much better to watch. But I think seeing the Div E teams is really exciting too. They're not as, married to the meta. They pick stuff that they're comfortable on. They pick stuff that still works. And so I think there's a ton of value in um, the Div E and Div D and Div C games, because we'll see picks that maybe there isn't room for in higher divisions. So that's my opinion. And, if you're here for the games and you get my opinion for free, you're welcome. Thank you to everyone who's viewing. I see the follower count has gone up. I haven't yet set up my NetBot stuff, so apologies that I can't thank you properly, but thank you to everyone who's followed. Again, the support of this community is fantastic. It feels great to start casting and just have so many folks be interested in seeing their friends play, seeing the games go through. NGS really is a great community, so, thank your local Raka for being head caster and teaching noobs like me how things get done. You know, there's a lot of awesome people in this community making things happen behind the scenes. There's a lot of work that goes into this that even I don't see. So, send a heart or a thumbs up someone's way, because they do great work. It looks like the team that had some folks away is ready now. So hopefully we'll be popping into draft here on Towers right away. I do wonder if the Dahaka right-wing Falstad will be prioritized. Global's, of course, having a huge amount of value on this map. Both teams and the caster have readied up. So we're popping into draft in 3, 2, 1, draft. Or not. There we go. A lot different watching this way rather than in-game perspective. I find it's a lot easier to make good decisions when I'm casting than it is when I'm in-game. I'm much smarter when I'm not the one with my hands on the keyboard. Much smarter. I'd be a grandmaster if my casting brain was the one making choices in my actual Storm League games. So it looks like this map was picked by Rage Gaming, and first pick and first ban will once again go to Trial by Annihilation. So again, we'll see if globals are prioritized here, or if they stick to what they banned last time. And we've got a Leoric ban. And yeah, we kind of thought this might be the case after the last game. Those Entomb fight starters were, I think, hard to deal with. Hard to save the person involved, and since they can't guarantee they'll get Anduin, best to just ban him. Dahaka gets banned on the other side. Again, Global's having a ton of value on this map specifically, and so Dahaka removed from the hero pool, as he also is one of the strongest characters in the offlane at the moment, since Hogger was slightly nerfed. Catnap Snip, welcome to the stream. It is a party in here. We're on game 2 of Trial by Annihilation versus Rage. The Stuka ban, always a solid ban. Not quite as good at disrupting as some heroes are, but just really just annoying. And Junkrat, great at delaying enemy teams, and of course great in control and choke points, so getting him off this map makes a ton of sense. So we're going to see first pick go over to Trial by Annihilation. They have pretty much the whole roster to go. We'll see what they prioritize. And the Anduin is picked first. Lagwagon did some good work on that last time. Now, they insta-pick the Garrosh again, but they don't insta-pick healer because Anduin's not available. So we'll see if they do pick their healer here, as they only get the 2 picks before ban phase. Or if there's something else that they'd like to prioritize that they're worried might go during ban phase. Brightwing this time. So a good global, also very strong with Garrosh, as even though she doesn't have as much of big burst heals, you don't need as much for Garrosh with his armor going up as his health goes down. So 2 solid picks. And on Trial by Annihilation, now that they get their 2 picks that they want to get before things potentially get banned out of their hands. Again, last time mages got banned away, so maybe we'll see something like a Li Ming also good at delaying enemy teams. But we see Sonya and Zul'jin come out. Zul'jin just a very, very strong throughput auto attacker. And with Anduin, he's a lot safer than he would be without Anduin with that pull. And Sonya, good all around, great at dueling in the offlane. And the Jaina gets banned once again. So Flippy's mages are something that Rage fears. So with Blaze and Sonya, Sparhawk showing he does like kind of his beefy duelists. Bunny's bubbles are great. Yeah, it was sort of like last time we saw some really kind of sideways light bomb. Like there was one time there was a light bomb, but then Leo went unstoppable, and it seems like it didn't go off, at least to my eyes. So our final ban is Vala, and Rexiod's Vala was very good. He maybe didn't stack as much as he wanted to, but he kept good positioning. He didn't die. He didn't lose his gambit, and with the front line of Garrosh, they couldn't really get to him. He did output some pretty solid damage. But Tychus comes out for K4K, and Zool picked up. Zool, kind of an underrated double soaker. Now, he is fairly easy to gank with no true mobility skills, but he can be quite annoying for a Sonya to deal with. And his wave clear, unless she bullies him out of lane, will be faster than hers is, giving him possibly more opportunities to crash a team fight in the bot lane. We see an ETC, possibly stage dive, and the Li Ming. So this was banned last time. We'll see what Flippy can pull off on this Diablo 3 mage. An ETC, now Mosh is very strong, but stage dive on this map specifically can answer that Brightwing global pressure. Very last pick here is for Rexy Odd. Texas. Tychus not giving world's best wave clear. So I'm guessing we'll see something that can provide that to the team, keep the waves moving towards the opposite side of the map. And Chromie, also excellent on this map. Time traps delaying people, Qs delaying people. So I think this is going to be an absolutely fire map. 10 seconds left for the team. Make sure everybody's on the heroes they want to play. And soon we will be popping right into game. Three, two, one. One thing that will be a little slower. Actually, neither team has super fast camp clear, so those bottom, we might see invades into those bottom camps. Garrosh is good at denying invades with the flips. ETC is good, especially if he takes, I think it's Power Slide, where he can go over terrain. We'll see if that ends up being something that happens. It's pretty early game. Teams will test the other team to see if they're able to invade them. So. But let's get into Game 2, Trial by Annihilation versus Rage. Sonya, played by Sparhawk, Kawaii Bane on Anduin, JT Trinja on Zul'jin, Keladorn on ETC, and Flippy8 playing Li Ming.
The battle begins.
And on the red side, we have Rage, really Aggro Ghoul elites, K4K on Tychus, Honey Badger playing Garrosh, Rexy Odd playing Chromie, Lagwagon on Brightwing, and Zool being played by Urban Punk. So we're seeing here Zool is instantly headed towards the top lane. No, he rejoins the team. And we'll see, is anyone going for any kind of stack? I mean, Zul'jin's always stacking, so giving him kind of that early, the early autos isn't necessarily the best. And we've got W stacking by the Chromie. I do think Malthael could have a lot of fun. And last time they got a lot of value out of percent damage. And oh, Honey Badger just melting again. Flippy really good at hitting his skill shots. And trying to see if he can disrupt some rotations, but not much to disrupt there. Zool and the Sonya go top. Again, both more focusing the lane. Oh, that's so much damage on Honey Badger. The flip, Lagwagon saves him, but Oh, there's so much, and then a bunch of damage on Keller. He goes down to the Tychus grenade. Both tanks, maybe we could say, guilty of trying to make a play happen. Honey Badger instantly going to the enemy's camp. And he flips Flippy 8! Flippy 8 really following his namesake there. The great root on the Tychus prevents them from following up. But Urban Punk has also rotated down, willing to let this wave push so that they can steal this camp away from Trial by Annihilation. Peladorn comes in and hits the W. He gets flipped out, it looks like, so that they can take the camp. So Rage not wanting the team fight there, just wanting to make sure that camp went their way. ETC gets flipped out, and they move to take their camp now with Honey Badger anchoring. And Chromie just pushing out the bot lane, staying safe. Zool's a soak experience in the top, going back to dual soaking. And Trial by Annihilation is content not to try and invade, but just play their game. They are slightly ahead in experience with that one wave crashing. So they should hit 4s slightly first. Flippy looking to do some damage here. They do hit the 4s. But right after the 4s are followed up. Honey Badger attempts to make a flip, isn't able to, and then his flip against Jade Trinja isn't great. A good cleanse there, it looks like, by the Brightwing passive. Oh no, sorry. That would have been a pull. The Unstoppable there. Brightwing on the other team. He done flipped to flip it. Ah, good stun there. And Keladorn playing this to try and stop it. He takes so much damage again, ETC a lower health pool tank. And so he's trying to deny Honey Badger capturing his squishies. He himself is getting in a position where that Garrosh can just throw him into a ton of damage at a very specific location for that Chromie damage to come out. So it looks like in the top, both teams are just going to take their own. And down here, Red Team getting really aggressive instead of just trying to protect this capture. So it looks like we're going to see 36 to 32 as Chromie captures that bottom. And both teams will again just take a breath. Sparhawk pushing this out. Rooted down, but Zool is going to have to rotate to collect his mid lane experience. Sonya doing really well in this dual soak war so far. Really forcing the Zool to respond more so than I would have thought. Good for them. Again, Honey Badger stepping up. Flippy trying to find the angles to catch surprise orbs and surprise missiles. I mean, their team has okay wave progress. There's the flip on the Zool Jin, and he goes down instantly. Deleted. He got alt F4'd right there. Right out of this game. And that's one of the really difficult parts of playing Zul'jin into a Garrosh. At 4, he can just take Unstoppable, walk through anything your team has, and chuck you. It can be very difficult to play an immobile character into a Garrosh, and it feels like Jay Trinja's learning that right now. I didn't use Jay Trinja's name very much last time. I just always called him by his hero. Flippy again, Lagwagon taking about a quarter of her health from that orb. There's the throw on Keladorn, but the pop-up misses, and that ends up in Rage taking a lot of damage for no real payoff. As the Garrosh Q just misses the Groundbreaker. And there's been a couple of, usually Honey Badger is so crisp last game in his combos. This game, he's finding the range too, like Keladorn was finding on his Johanna. Good check of the bush. Both teams very frequently checking this bush to make sure that there's no surprises to be had, and they're both going to rotate towards this most middle shrine. Rexiod looking for the cap. Now Anduin can throw something that puts him in a little bit of a tough position. Another flip on Keladorn. He's going to take a lot of damage, and once again, he goes down instantly. But now, Taika's taking a lot of damage. He's flipped up on Honey Badger, and Brightwing Lagwagon going to save him. Now, Kawaii is actually capturing this point, pinged on, and the Groundbreaker misses as Bunny walks away. That orb hits no one. Trinja just putting damage on the Tychus. Honey Badger walking through those slowing sands as Chromie gets her ult first. The flip and the Groundbreaker on his own. She takes a lot of damage, polymorphed and dead, and it's a 2 for 0. Although it's early enough in the game that ETC is already back, and Li Ming goes down to Urban Punk's Zool. Another great team fight, and this Garrosh is getting so much value in these fights. Celadorn looking like he knows what he wants to do on the ETC, but the healing support just not quite enough for his low health pool. And it seems like Rage has made a concerted decision. As soon as he goes in, he is the target. So excellent plays here by really Aggro Ghoul elites. Down comes the laser drill, so no Odin this time, and they're going to use it on the structures. Now the laser drill is pretty easy to hit by Flippy's Li Ming, so it's going to go down, but the gate, they are going to lose their gate. Slowing Sands come out. And Honey Badger just checking to see if anybody wants to come play Flip the Hero. Nobody, in fact, wants to play Flip the Hero, as the dual laners just do their dual lane things. Badger running up, flips Celadorn again. He's taking so much damage from the Tychus. This time the pull is up, and he uses Mosh, and the Salvation Bubble is up too. That's so much damage on Honey Badger. Now, is Celadorn going to be able to return the favor? Are they able to kill? The Brightwing coming through isn't enough. Yes, Brightwing saves Honey Badger. Celadorn takes more damage, and neither team gets a kill. Kawaii Bunny gets flipped in on Anduin, takes so much damage, goes down. They're stunned out. Honey Badger, though, is he going to go down this time? And yes, this time he dies, but so does Celadorn. They're trying to finish off Lagwagon. They're unable to. Flippy taking a lot of damage from the Tychus. He has to walk around the Slowing Sands. And killed by the Tychus grenade. This grenade build doing just enough damage. I thought she might survive it. But quarterback and Melting Point just enough as they steal this again. Our score is 32-24, and these fights are so close, and it feels like they're just starting to tilt. And with Zul'jin, there is going to be scaling in this game for Trial by Annihilation. Zul pushing that into the mid, Garrosh coming back into this game, and ETC there as well. They're going to try and kill these before they can explode on the bottom tower. These guys are running me out of voice. Game 3, I'll have to whisper. Oh, the polymorph, the flip, Celadorn taking so much damage again. He goes down very, very quickly, as Li Ming was in the middle. And with that, they're going to drop the laser drill again and see if they can just capture this bottom. The polymorph on the Li Ming, she eased out and is left alive. They're going to put damage on this laser drill, but bottom tower is down to about 40%. Oh, Flippy going for the... Flippy almost flipped, but Honey Badger takes a lot of damage from the tower as Flippy eased out on that Li Ming. Phase Shift is used to keep Honey Badger at decent health, and the duo laners are still doing duo laner things. Aren't you excited by the duo laners, guys? They're duo laning. The stun there by Celadorn, trying to put some pressure on Urban Punk, but he pops his level 1 shield. Honey Badger keeping an eye on this rotation, not looking to disrupt it as they capture their camp. Looks like Trial by Annihilation. Everybody quiet. They're going to sneak up and kill this Zul. They come in. The root goes down, but Urban Monk isn't aware the entire team is coming, and he is picked immediately. It looks like Trial by Annihilation is going to look to add some support to their duo laner's life. This may cost them the bot lane fort and the bot lane capture, but it looks like that's a trade they're willing to make as they go for the boss. And they go to take this up. So, at this point, it looks like they're trying to find ways to stay in this game while Zul'jin scales. And hopefully those big chunks of damage are what they need to start chunking out the lower health bars on the side of really Aggro Ghoul elites. The skeletons come in, kill the gate here as Sparhawk pushes in, and Urban Punk on Zul is gonna... And another fight is going down! These guys, they only have one mode, and it's go! Fight! Murderize! That's all they've got, and that's all we really want to see. So, Honey Badger takes a ton of damage. Again, with no tank, they've got to be very careful clearing these waves. Honey Badger just trying to walk in again. He finds Trinja. He gets hit. The polymorph and the pull comes, but it's too late, and Trinja is dead. Flippy taking so much damage. Now that Dragon's Breath quest at 1 is finished for Chromie, This damage is bonkers. Honey Badger just protecting. Just protecting this fort. That's all they have to do now. Protect this and always have the advantage. Keladorn comes in. They got the sun. They're going to put a lot of damage. The Root comes in. Honey Badger's unstoppable. He's using Decimate. And he lives. Oh, so much damage on Bunny again. Those Dragon Breaths absolutely smoking whoever they hit. And they're going to escort these pumpkins in. Scores 19-20. Another big flip on Kelador. He's taking so much damage. He Qs out, and he's kept alive by the Anduin Holy Word Salvation. They have nothing to displace him at the moment. And that keeps Kelador alive on that ETC. Zool caps mid instead of top, so both it's a race now between Sonya and Zool who can get there first while both teams focus on keeping each other occupied. We're going to see a real duel here. Sparhawk did go for Leap, a team fight talent, but this game has not gone that way. The offlaners have really not been a part of what's happening in the team fight. Urban Punk's ult does so much damage to Sparhawk, so he has to back off while they cap a second one. And in the bot lane, I have to assume Anduin got flipped. Or sniped, because he did die to Chromie. And in Game 2 of this 3-game series, or potentially best of 3 series, I should say, Rage has just a stranglehold on the macro of this game at the moment. They will not let Trial by Annihilation even leave their... The slowing sounds goes down immediately, and then the Groundbreaker, and ETC is deleted. He is ground beef, ladies and gentlemen. The tunnel opens up in the middle.
I knew I could do that. I've opened my tunnel as well.
And they just drafted so much control. The slowing sands, the Garrosh, the polymorph so people can't just get out. This seems like a combo they've practiced because they are doing it beautifully again and again and again. I really liked the Li Ming. The Anduin's been good. I think Keladorn, for all he's able to do, has been good on this ETC, but it's just... This Garrosh is unstoppable! They kill Bunny, and Honey Badger might go down to these huge auto attacks! No! The threat of the Chromie Tychus just prevents Honey Badger from dying, as it looks like Lagwagon had teleported top to support Zool. Honey Badger very low without the healer here. Oh, they do drop the laser drill. Again, just to use damage to push the team out. Keladorn trying to set something up for his team, but he gets thrown in again, and again, so much damage comes out! The kills are 16-2. As the Rage team is just not allowing any counterplay from Trial by Annihilation. A good orb there, but Honey Badger having just the good fortune not to get hit. Urban collects the mid, and that's going to put them on 4 hit points. If they let this bottom altar go through, the game is over. But how are they going to get out? ETC is dead, no stage dive. They can't... Sparhawk has to leap out just to let the game end. And a somewhat anticlimactic Game 2, while still being excellently played. Game 2 goes to Rage Gaming. GG. 2-0 win. So we'll show the game summary here, and I'll send a message to the winner, seeing if they'd like to do the interview. Again, 16-2 the kills here. And just that control. Again, it seems so practiced. The flip, the groundbreaker, the poly, the slowing sands. Just so clean. And as a fan of TBA, that had to have been hard to watch. Just so little opportunity. Keladorn doing everything he could on this ETC, trying to make opportunities happen. Flippy just excellent with orbs and missiles, but unfortunately for that team, and again, if you're a fan of that team, just very, very difficult. So Game 2 also goes to really aggro Ghoul Elites. It looks like we'll be doing an interview. And we will be getting an interview here. as we wait to see uh, who from our Rage team will pop in.
Hello?
Hi, K4, how you doing?
Good. Badger's here with me.
Excellent, Honey Badger. So,
What's up?
welcome. A quick 2-0. Game 1, really close. Some crisp rotations by both teams. Got a little more sloppy as the game went on. Um, what was it that made you guys pick Tomb of the Spider Queen?
They lost on it last week, so I was like, let's go there if they give it to us again.
Okay.
See if we can make them lose again on it.
So using your scouting, noted in draft that you were really trying to take away certain mages from Flippy 8. Is that something you saw in your pre-scouting?
Possibly.
Fair.
I banned Jaina out because her slows are annoying,
Okay.
and like any CC is annoying in the game. So and they left Gary open, so
Yeah, well, that was my next note to talk about. I mean, in Game 1, it was good. In Game 2, that Garrosh was disgusting. It seemed very practiced, the flip into Groundbreaker, into Slowing Sands, into Polymorph, and poor ETC just turning into beef over and over again. Is that something that you guys are pretty familiar with doing, or were you guys just all in the same headspace today?
We kind of practice it here and there.
Just amazing Garrosh play, Honey Badger. It was stunning.
yeah, Gary's the main. He's the best tank out there, hands down.
In your hands,
So-
I can believe it.
So.
I didn't have too many more notes. Again, a very dominant performance in Game 2. It seems like you picked Towers of Doom as well. Is that because of your comfort of the map, or is there something you saw that they didn't enjoy it?
It's one of our favorites.
Yeah, it's my favorite map to call. It's the comfort pick of maps for me. And I like how the map is ran because it's not necessarily more macro or more team fight. It's kind of even in every aspect of the game. So it's really just you have to be better than them on that map, whoever you're playing, right?
The Zool pick, a bit unusual, but a bit unorthodox, I should say, but it worked. Is that something that Urban just likes to bust out when it feels right, or is that something that you have deliberately for this team or this map?
When I'm doing draft, and we usually have our focus comps that we do play on different maps, but sometimes when the guys are like, it's this, and we just go with our old rule of flex and trust, and I had to trust.
Yeah, it really worked out. Is there anyone you guys would like to make shoutouts to before we end the cast tonight?
Just the whole team as a whole, we really worked hard this week, and I definitely saw progress this week compared to our last practice, this game alone. And I'd like to give out a shout out to Easy K. He's been kind of helping us here and there get better. And thank you for casting our game.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Excellent games. GG's, fellas. Hope to cast you again in the future.
Mhm.
So, that was our NGS Week 3, Season 19 of Div E, Rage versus Trial by Annihilation. It's been a pleasure casting for you. I hope you guys all go out and have yourself a great time with some Heroes of the Storm. Again, VODs will be on Twitch for 7 days, and you can always go to my YouTube where they will be stored. Have yourselves a great night.